Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome if it's your first time. John here. This is actually the 4th week of a daily challenge for the month of September. So if this is the first you're seeing of my STRADA Easel 30-day challenge, after you watch this one, or I guess before, I suppose, watch all the other ones as well. You can see me making everything on this paper so far, but up to this point, this is where we're at. And you can see I've got my next one here. So let's readjust a little bit. This is a 223 shell. It was one of the things we just kind of had around the house, but thematically it fits well with everything else. You know, having to do with something or other in my life or my family's lives. This one kind of represents a little bit of my dad and my brother. They work at a gun range that my dad owns and runs. So 223, actually, you can't shoot 223 at dad's range, but it is what it is. We're going to get right into it. It's made of brass, so I'm going to kind of make a warm brown color to start. I've got to clean off my palette before I do anything, though. We work from light to dark. I do have the ability to add white on the top at the end. So I've got a new camera set up right now, so I may bump the camera a couple times trying to get used to this. Kind of like this. Sorry, I'm messing with my phone. Okay, so there's a good first coat. We're gonna get it a little darker. Now, a little shortcut I can do here in order to make my browns darker without wasting all of my black is adding some blue. So light source is staying the same for everything in this painting, so I'm going to go ahead and make this my dark side. In order to make this look metal, I've actually got to do kind of a fairly hard line here. So that's good for now. I'm going to do the shadow. I'm kind of torn on these shadows. I don't know if I like the ones where I do watercolor and colored pencil, or if I like the ones where I do just colored pencil. I think the problem I run into is like this. I tried to color the shadow in before the paint was dry. I think if I just let the paint dry, it wouldn't be as big of a problem. If you've seen any of my videos where I make this kind of art, you know my process. I'm not really explaining it much here, but if you're watching this video, you probably watched me do everything else on this page, so you know my process. I pulled my colored pencils out. I'm looking for a couple different colors that I plan on using. Okay, let's see. So I've got to get some good yellow bits in here for the highlight section. Okay, so that's the colors. Let me do some stuff with the pens. I'm going to add some highlight here. Okay, while I'm here, I want to darken this up a little bit. And so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that's today. I'll be back tomorrow for the next one. Okay, it is Monday the 22nd. I'm doing my next one here. Here's where we're at today. And as we can see down here in the corner, I am working on another duck. Like I said earlier, we've got a lot of ducks and they're all so different that I think having 3 of them, I don't know that I'll maybe do any more. I think 3 is probably good. But we're going to add this guy here. He's a little fox and he is pink. So we're going to go with a pink duck. Should be pretty quick today. I've got my 2 sections of red here. And we're just going to kind of bust it out. Light's coming from this side, so anything facing this way, I'm going to darken. This paper is not too great. I won't use it again, but I've got to wait for this to dry because this paper is so fragile. I've got to let it dry. So I'll be back. Okay, we're gonna jump into the colored pencils now. Hopefully this has had enough time to kind of start to dry. Tuscan red is what this guy's called. I'm gonna do my pen here. So that's gonna help me to get some highlights in here. So my light source is a ring light. I think I'm going to make a little bit of that indication here. This guy is kind of a little bit see-through and my light source is pretty bright. So what I'm gonna do is put some pink down so you can kind of see that the pink is shining through the body in the shadow itself. Alright, there's that. Pretty simple today. I mean, they're all very simple. The point of this is not so much that I'm going crazy every day, but it's to get something done every day. And so no single day is really crazy insane, except maybe this guy. This guy was a lot of work. But we are using this as an exercise to make art. So there's that. I will be back for the next day. See you next one. All right, Tuesday the 23rd. Here's where we're at. You can see what I'm doing today. I'm gonna jump right into it. This is a little rabbit that's kind of carved out of what seems to be marble, maybe. So very simple colors. I'm gonna start with a kind of like a light brown. So that's gonna work. I've got to let it dry so that I don't ruin the paper when I come in with pencils, but I'll be right back. So as I continue to do, I forgot to paint the shadow. I don't know how I keep doing that. I think I'm just so focused on the painting itself that I don't think about watercolor shadow. I'm so excited to get into the colored pencils, so I gotta let that dry a little. So I'm actually going to do the pen first here, just to give me a good outline for the future. The order that I do this in is not really important after the watercolor phase is done, so it's not the end of the world. I just want to get a nice hard outline here. This guy's got a little black eye here. We're going to come in and do some highlighting now. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to add some shadows here. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'd say that I'm happy with that, so I'll be back tomorrow. All right, Wednesday the 24th, here's where we're at. You can see where we're going. This is a little green star. I don't know what it is or where it came from, but I thought it was cute. I thought it would be fun to do because it's kind of fairly transparent. So it'll be fun to try to play with that lighting. So it's green. So we're going to make it green. Okay, I don't want to go too far. I want to save some room for the colored pencils, so I'm going to let that dry and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back for watercolors. I had to take a slightly longer break this time because my phone's on low battery, but I think we can finish this one. So we're going to start by emphasizing the areas that I've already done. I'm going to also put in our shadows here. Because this is kind of see-through, I'm going to make it green first. So let's add some black lines. Now, highlight-wise, this is really fun. I'm adding these here. I'm going to come back in and make them really bright green once the white pen dries this side over here. Nice. I'm really happy with that. I think that looks really good. So that's it for today. We're gonna move on to the next day. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, welcome back. Today is the 25th. And here's where I was. Here's where I'm going today. Let's zoom you in. Yesterday I did a star. Today I'm doing another star. This is a starfish. It's a little different. I put it down here. I think because I've learned that I can put down white and then color over it in some of my other drawings, like this guy making all this yellow and this guy making this kind of green, I'm gonna put him down here and then see if I can make it work so he's not totally blackened out like that shadow. So there's the watercolors. Like I said, very simple. I've got to let these dry and then I'm going to jump into the colored pencils. And I think I'm actually going to start with my white pen. Okay, like I said, I'm going to start with the white just so I can let it dry and add some color to it later. I'm going to add some outlines here. Because this does have a lot of texture, I'm gonna kind of indicate that with my outline. He looks kind of dark right now. To you. To me, it's not as dark, but I don't want it to be that dark. So what I'm going to do is come in here with some white. I'm going to darken around here. Okay. There's today. I'll be back tomorrow. All right, it's Friday the 26th. Today we've got, well, here's where we've been so far. Today we've got a packet of PEZ candies. I don't know how old these are. I'm not going to eat them as much as I may like to. Doing the white on top has really been working out well for me, so I'm going to kind of do something similar to that today. But this packet is red. I'm not sure which red color I'm gonna do yet. We'll start with light and then we'll make it darker if I need to. Just throwing stuff wherever I feel like it. And like every other one in this video, let it dry and we'll come back. Okay, and we're back ready for the colored pencils. Like anything else, I'm going to get right into it. I've got a magenta here. Okay, so this part is a little strange. The first thing I'm going to do is get a blue in here. How about this one? Ultramarine. Now, what I'm doing is I'm first coloring these guys in blue. The background of each of these is blue, and it's got white on top of it. So we're going to start with blue, and then we'll add white on top, and then some black outlines. Let's also make sure to indicate some of this stuff first with my colored pencil before I do it with the pen. Okay, I'm going to grab my black pen. Let's darken some of these colors up. Now for the logo. I'm going to come back in and outline this black. Okay, there's my PEZ dispenser. Not dispenser, the PEZ Candy wrapper. I think it turns out okay here. I'm going to add a little bit more highlight, but that does it for today. I will be back tomorrow. Okay, it's Saturday the 27th, final day for this week, and here's where we've been. Here's where we're going. Today, I am making Taco Bell hot sauce. Why? Well, we have a ton of it in our fridge, and Hillary loves Taco Bell, one of her absolute favorite places to eat. And so it only felt fitting that I add that here. Adding some red here. We're going to sneak up on some of these colors. We are going to go now into some of the gray sections. Okay. There's our watercolor pass.
Okay, slightly different voice. My mic died here. So the rest of this guy, fortunately it's the last day of the week, but the rest of this guy I have to do in post. Right now I'm just coming through with my colored pencils. Because this is the hot sauce, I've drawn flames on the outside here. I'm indicating some areas that I think need to be darker, just kind of refining things before I get into my pens. And here we go with the pen outline. I took my time, make sure that I followed nicely around here. The edges are kind of serrated. I don't think that's the right word, but you can see what I did on the top and bottom side. I've added some little spiky bits. Coming through now, indicating some of the white details on the bag, the logo, the words, the part that says hot on top, so that we can tell that it's hot sauce. Now, I didn't want all my whites to be stark white. Some of them are in shadow, so I did that there. And now I'm indicating the other shadows. The lettering that says hot is actually too thin, I think, right now. So in a second here, I'm going to thicken that up. And I think that really helps sell it. So back in real time, that's going to do it for this 4th week of my STRADA Easel 30-day challenge. Here's our progress so far. Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the bell so you're always notified when I post new videos. Share this with your friends. You know, all the standard YouTube things. I really appreciate the views. I really appreciate the comments. I'm going to go live tomorrow. I've got a painting to make. If you're watching this the day it comes out on Saturday, I'm going to be going live tomorrow. So I can make a painting for work. I think it's going to be Halloween themed. But I think that about does it. I appreciate it. I will see you guys in the next one.